Mysticism. What it is? How did mysticism originate? How has mysticism influenced history, and what do people think today of mysticism? Along with a couple other thoughts. The history and mystery of mysticism. Weird as it is, to make this somewhat sensible to everybody, because mysticism does carry a lot of connotations, the word has its origins in the Greek word mystis, meaning one who belongs to a secret cult. The definition of mysticism today is a belief that you can become one with God and come to know the ultimate truth of everything. And that, of course, means an altered state of consciousness that has religious and maybe a spiritual meaning. Now that we got all this bullshit out of the way, let's get to the good stuff, like how the fuck did mysticism originate? Keeping in mind the meaning of the word, let's travel back to ancient Greece a couple of hundred years before Christ and try to understand what is known as Greece's mystery religions. Yeah, and there were a couple of them. All these mystery religions had secrecy, ritual, and some kind of common belief, and the most popular at the time was the Eleusinian mysteries, an agrarian cult of farmers who worshipped Demeter, the god of fertility and harvest, along with Persephone, queen of the underworld and goddess of the dead. And now, if you spilled any of this mystery religion secrets, you'd be meeting Miss Persephone sooner than expected. Now, we had to take a deep breath here, because while mysticism is rooted in religion, let me correct that. What I should have said is that while religion is rooted in mysticism, there is a mysticism that isn't really rooted in religion. So we actually have two types of mysticism. One that's a religious mysticism and another secular mysticism. And secular mysticism originated with the growth of science and a changing need to understand our lives outside the framework of religion. Secular mysticism wasn't really a thing till the 19th century, so let's go back a little earlier than the 19th century and delve into the origins of religious mysticism. Now, first and foremost, know that almost all religions have some sort of mystic history to them. For instance, mysticism is present in most of our New Testament, and one of the most mystical phrases in the New Testament is "in the kingdom of God." The teachings of Jesus, like it or not, are rooted in mysticism, from the mystical realm of heaven to a personal relationship with God. Yet when it comes to the Old Testament, which is based on the Jewish Bible, there ain't an awful lot of mysticism present in the Old Testament. That said, Christianity isn't the only religion where you will find mysticism in its pages. Islam seeks to experience a direct experience with God. Judaism and its Kabbalah explores the hidden aspect of God. Hindu mysticism includes the pursuit of enlightenment, and then there's Buddhism, who emphasizes meditation and personal insight. So understand whatever religion you practice that has its roots in mysticism. Mysticism that goes all the way back to the old Greek mystery religions, wanting you to be one with God or the universe, or both. Your choice. But mysticism was about to undergo a transformation when the 19th century dawned. And again, secular mysticism is mysticism without the trappings of religious belief. And it is what most think mysticism is today, because no real Christian would admit to mysticism having anything to do in their religion. Yet secular mysticism had an awful lot to do with spirituality. And if I were to define secular mysticism different from what I've been talking about, is that secular mysticism in the 19th century focused on those things that could be proven by experience and not those that left you wondering about religion. Things like seances, where it could be proven there was an afterlife, because of the electroplasm and all that. And if you don't know, then go read. In today's world, though, mysticism seems to be a catch-all phrase for everything from astrology to fortune-telling, and just a lot of weird shit in between. But the real meaning of mysticism is deep and interesting, exploring both spiritual and religious beliefs. and it's a thing most people have forgotten about in today's world of polarized, structured, and organized religion. Mysticism, woo! Okay, this was an absolutely cool and fun video to do. And I just, the history there and the relation between mysticism and religion. I don't know what else to add to this. I really don't. Yeah. What can one say? I mean, I just leave it at that, I guess. I don't know. I'm stumble bumble fuck, I guess. I don't know what to say about mysticism, except that this was a learning experience, and if you ask me what I learned, I'm not so sure I can tell you. But I always knew there's a lot of mysticism rooted in religion, in my religion, but it's rooted in every religion, and mysticism really is the source of all friggin' religions, going all the way back to the Greek mysteries. But yeah, no one wants to hear that, do ya? Well, I think I'll leave it at that. This is a good time to shut my mouth and leave you alone to your thoughts and to think about your religion and its relationship to mysticism. Peace out.